Hello students, welcome to GK class. Today we are going to discuss about the general science topic. In this general science topic, we are dealing with cell theory. Okay, basically it comes under cell structure and functions. Okay, this is for class 8th students, those who are going to 9th class. In this cell theory, basically what is a cell? Okay, this cell theory comes under cell structure and functions. Basically the chapter was cell structure and functions. Cell, basically what is meant by cell is the fundamental unit of a life. Okay, fundamental unit of life. Here we mentioned that cell is the fundamental unit of life. Okay, nothing exaggeration. This is the bit so many times asked in SAINIK school entrance examination. Okay, which is the fundamental unit of life? Cell. Clear everyone? Right. All living organisms are composed of cells only. Okay, every living organisms. If you take any living organism, all living organisms are composed of cells. That means by using cells only, living organism will develop into an organism. Clear? Right. Then new cells, how the cell develops into organisms means by building it into, okay, by building. Okay, one cell is building another cell, that another cell is building some other cells. In this way the organism will develop. Okay, this is how cell will develop. That's why all new cells come from pre-existing cells. Understand this point? Okay, we have already pre-existing cells. From that pre-existing cells only new cells will come. Okay, new cells will come. Now we will get one idea that cell is the basic element or otherwise fundamental unit of life. Okay, every living organism composed of cells. These cells, new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. Clear? This is one analysis, just keep it in mind. Okay, cell is the fundamental unit of life. Every organism composed of cells, and that cell is the fundamental unit of life. New cell will build up or otherwise new cell formed from the pre-existing cells. Just keep it in mind. Clear? Then after that, if you take cell variation, okay, there are cell variation. That means number of cells, okay, size of the cell, shape of the cell. These are the variations. That means different levels. Okay, different scenario of the cells. Coming to in the cell variation, first one, number of cells. Okay, number of cells. You see, there are two types of cells are there. So two types of organisms are there. Okay, unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms. Clear? Unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Okay, unicellular organisms means the organisms which have only one cell. Those are called unicellular organisms. Okay, we already discussed that all living organisms composed of cells. This first point, all living organisms composed of cells. That means according to the cells only organism will develop. Okay, those are the basic fundamental units. Coming to number of cells, if the organism having only one cell means unicellular organisms. If the organism is made up of multicellular, that means made of more than one cell. If organism is made of more than one cell means multicellular organisms. Okay, all plants and animals comes under multicellular organisms. Our human body consists of multicellular organisms. Like that in plants also there are multi-cells. Multi means many, cellular means cells. That means multicellular means, see, multicellular. Multi means many, cellular means cells. Here multi means many. Cellular means cells, many cells. That means if organism is made up of more than one cells, otherwise called many cells, those organisms are called multicellular organisms. Example for multicellular organisms are plants and animals. Then coming to unicellular organisms, organism with only one cell are called unicellular organisms. Organism with only one cell, those organisms we are calling them as unicellular organisms. Clear everyone? The examples for unicellular organisms are amoeba, paramecium. Okay, amoeba, paramecium. Sir, it consists of only one cell. That's why it is not visible to our naked eye. By using microscope only we can see this unicellular organisms. Clear everyone? And one more, our live example for unicellular organisms was egg of the hen. Okay, if you see egg of the hen, the inside white portion and inside yellow portion is there. If you boil the egg, okay, it consists of only one cell. That yellow portion is called cell. Clear everyone? That yellow portion is called cell. That is called unicell. Clear? Right. This is about number of cells. Okay. Coming to cell variation, there are based on number of cells, there are two types of organisms: unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms. Clear everyone? Then coming to shape of the cell. Shape of the cell. Okay, there are many shapes in the multicellular organisms. If you compare, if you see, multicellular organisms means animals and plants. Okay, if you compare, there are so many different shapes are there. Okay, different shapes are there in multicellular organisms. If you see, this is muscle cell. In our human body, this is muscle cell. It is in this type of shape. Okay, multicellular organisms, muscle cell. This have one shape. It is small and spindle shape. Okay, small and spindle shape. See this spindle like shape. Okay, spindle shape. Then this is nerve cell. In our brain, the nerves are in this shape only. Okay, the nerve cells are in this shape. If you take in our brain, the nerves are incorporated in this shape only. Okay, see, it is long and branched shape. The nerve cell is long and branched shape. If you observe the figure, it is long and branched shape. Then this is red blood cells present in our blood. Okay, these are blood cells. This is unicellular. This is unicellular, single cell. Okay, this is a single cell. Red blood cell. It have biconcave disc shape. If you observe, it have disc shape. Okay, disc shape. These are different types of shapes of cells. Every cell consists of membrane. Okay, membrane. That membrane provides shape to the cells of plants and animals. Okay, every plants and animals composed of cells only. Those cells, see, membrane provides shape. Which provides shape to the cells means membrane. Keep it in mind. Membrane provides shape to the cells. Membrane provides shape to the cells. Over this membrane, there is a cell wall to protect the cell. Okay, cell wall. Okay, over this membrane, we have cell wall. Additional covering over the cell. Okay, in plants. Okay, especially in plants, over this membrane, there is a cell wall to protect that cell. Like this, we have different shapes of the cell. Then coming to size of the cell. If you consider size, see, the largest cell is egg of ostrich. Okay, the largest cell is egg of ostrich. Ostrich is a bird. Okay, bird. This size is 170 mm into 130 mm. 170 mm is nothing but 17 centimeters into 13 centimeters. If you multiply that much size, the ostrich egg. Clear? Then coming to smallest cell is bacteria cell. That is in between 0.1 to 0.5. 0.1 to 0.5 microns. 0.1 to 0.5 microns. Clear? 0.1 to 0.5 microns. If you take, for example, I will tell you micron to compare. If you take our hair, the width of the hair is 10 microns. The width of the hair is 10 microns. 0.1 means, observe, just analyze, think once. 0.1 means how much it is very small and it can't visible to our eye, naked eye. Okay, if you want to see, we have to see with that with microscope only. Okay, that's the shape of the cell. In this way, cell is our fundamental unit of life. Every organism is made up of cells. Clear? Every organism is made up of cells, and all new cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. Okay. Then coming to variations in cells have different numbers, different shapes, and different sizes. Okay. If you consider number of cells, there are multicellular organisms and unicellular organisms. Okay, examples for multicellular organisms are plants and animals. Examples for unicellular organisms are amoeba and paramecium. If you take into account the shape of this cell, there are different types of shapes. If you take in multicellular also, unicellular organisms also, different types of shapes are there. Okay, if you consider our nerve cells, those are long and branched like structures. If you take muscle cell, those are small and spindle like structure. And if you take red blood cell, that is disc shape. Okay, disc shape. In these different types of shapes are there. And if you consider the size of the cell, the largest cell is ostrich egg. Consists of 170 millimeters into 130 millimeters. Then smallest cell is bacteria cell from 0.1 to 0.5 microns. This is about the introduction of cell theory, nothing but cell structure and functions. Okay, we will discuss in detail about this cell in the next class. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care. Please pause the video and write down the information. Take care.